Welcome back, where we delve into the chilling cases that have haunted investigators for years. This week, we're exploring the tragic and unsolved murder of Sigrid Stevenson, a promising young woman with a passion for music and a bright future ahead of her.
Subscribe.
Sigrid's life was tragically cut short in 1977. Who killed her and why? In this episode, we'll dive into the details of her life, the horrific crime, and the theories that still swirl around this cold case. But first, let's rewind to the summer of 1977. Sigrid Stevenson was born on January 24, 1952, in Southern California to Peter and Barbara Stevenson. She had a younger sister, Sylvia, who she adored. Sigrid was a free spirit, known for her love of music, a prodigy on the piano. She graduated high school in 1970 and went on to pursue a master's degree in musical education at Trenton State College. Her dream was to become a music teacher. As we explored the unsettling crime that will forever alter her family's life, we find a woman deeply involved in campus life, active in her college community, and still living in campus that summer, just days before her murder. It was the weekend of Labor Day in 1977. It was a Sunday, September 4th, just days before classes were set to start. The campus, usually buzzing with students, was eerily quiet, with only 50 people on the entire campus that weekend. But in the quiet of the night, something horrific was unfolding. Around 9:30 p.m., a local officer patrolling the area noticed an abandoned bike outside Kendall Hall, a theater building on campus. Upon investigating, the officer made a chilling discovery. The body of 25-year-old Sigrid Stevenson was found lying on the stage, covered by a piano blanket. There were signs of a brutal attack, blood smeared across the stage, her face distorted from blunt-force trauma. But what's even more strange was how carefully the scene had been staged. Her clothes had been neatly folded beside the piano. Her shoes and backpack and sleeping bag placed next to them. It didn't seem like a random act of violence. There's something more methodical about it. The police identified Sigrid when they found her student ID. They immediately secured the scene. But what they found next would only deepen the mystery. The autopsy will reveal the full extent of violence. Sigrid had suffered significant head trauma and blood loss, with a broken nose, fractured ribs, and bruising all over her body. She had been sexually assaulted, and evidence suggested that handcuffs had been used on her at one point during the attack. Despite these brutal injuries, there's something else odd. Her body had been covered, which is not typical for cases of sexual assault. Her red shirt was tied around her mouth, possibly to silence her screams. The time of death was determined to be between 7:30 p.m. and 10 p.m. that night. She was likely killed within minutes after the assault began, and no one had heard a thing. No witnesses, no screams. It was as if the killer knew exactly what they were doing and had planned it carefully. The police found no fingerprints or footprints at the scene. The killer seemed to make an effort to clean up, but the bloodstains remained, forever marking the scene of this unimaginable crime. But there were other clues that led more questions than answers. Sigrid's friends described her as in being in good spirits before her death. In the days leading up to her murder, she had gone on a 2-week hitchhiking trip to New York to visit friends and to sell her artwork to make extra money. She had returned to campus just a few days before she had died, staying in an empty theater room after being locked out of her dorm room by her professor. Her last conversation was with a woman named Jane, an actress in a play at the theater. Jane noticed Sig seemed down after a disagreement with a man, a possible lover or friend. And around 10:30 that night, the cast left for the cast party, and Sig wrote in her diary, this will be the last time she was seen alive. As the investigation into Sig's death unfolded, two primary theories emerged from this case. The first theory, a sexually motivated crime. The killer may have tried to make advances on Sigrid, and when she rejected him, he snapped. This theory is supported by the fact that Sigrid was found nude, and evidence of a sexual assault was discovered, despite the unusual way her body was covered. Some speculate that the killer may have been someone close to her, the professor she had rented the room from. She had spent a lot of time with her, and though he was away at the time of the murder, it was Labor Day weekend, his alibi was never fully confirmed. Another theory involved a campus officer who had been known for his rude behavior towards women. Some even claim he confided someone of his involvement, but this was never verified. Adding more weight to this theory is the fact that he would have had handcuffs with him, and handcuffs are suspected used in this case, and he had a baton. Sigrid was killed with a blunt object, and that could have been anything from a pipe to a baseball bat to a baton, like the campus officer would have been carrying that night. A second theory suggests that the killer may have been someone Sigrid knew, perhaps a friend. In this version of events, the attack may have been a spontaneous act of violence. The killer panicked when Sigrid resisted. The brutal beating of her face in an attempt to hide her identity with the clothing and personal belonging might have pointed to someone who wanted to cover their tracks. Two potential suspects in this theory included a stagehand who worked at the college and was fired shortly after Sigrid's death, and a student who was later arrested for a different murder. The connection between Sigrid and these individuals remains unclear, but their proximity to her life has raised suspicions. As years passed, the case went cold, but Sigrid's family and friends never gave up on seeking justice. In fact, Sigrid's name lives on in a piano practice room dedicated in her honor at her alma mater. And for some, it seems that Sigrid's restless spirit has not left. People have reported eerie occurrences at the theater where she was murdered. Moving pianos, cold spots, even sightings of her ghost. Is it possible that Sigrid's haunting the very place where her life was so tragically taken? Or was it just the weight of the unsolved murder that lingers in the air? In 2021, interest in the case was reignited when it was featured on Netflix's Unsolved Mysteries, giving the case new attention. And just recently, the state police announced they will be reopening the investigation. Could this long unsolved mystery finally be cracked? Will we finally get answers as to who took Sig Stevenson's life and why? Or will her murder remain an unanswered question for generations to come? What do you think happened to Sig Stevenson? Could it have been someone close to her, a friend, the professor, or even a stranger with a sinister intention? Was it something darker, something premeditated? Let us know your thoughts and theories and suspicions on our website. Thank you for joining me on this journey into the unsolved. Until next time, keep searching for the truth.